Wyatt Earp, Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told.
Mr. Wilkins? 3 cents, jackknife, and a watch. Is that right?
That's right.
Sign that receipt.
Boy, you can sure give a man a hangover with that gun barrel of yours.
Well, it's better than being shot, isn't it?
Yeah, I reckon. Thank you, Marshal.
And don't come back.
Don't worry. I won't.
Mr. James, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a dime. Rabbit's foot and a comb. Sign it. Mr. Clements, 20, 40, 60, 80, 110, and 12 cents. Looks like you didn't spend much, Mr. Clements. You're lucky.
Sure. Real lucky. Spending my vacation in this hole.
Oh, it's not too bad. Food's pretty good.
Listen to me, Earp. You made a monkey out of me, and I'll be back. And I'm not coming alone, either. My brothers will be with me, and you'll wish you'd never seen me.
Clements, you made a monkey out of yourself. You didn't check your guns, and you had plenty of time to do it. Now, as for your brothers, I took care of Mannon, and I'll be very happy to meet the rest of them.
I'll tell them.
Yeah, you do that. Now, here's your gun. But I don't want you to load it or put it on until you get in the outskirts of town.
You're throwing me out of town, huh?
That's right. When you cool off, you can come back in town if you want to. But remember to check that. Come here. Sign your receipt.
Like I said, I'll be back.
I'll be here. Clements. You slam that door and I'll throw you back in the cell.
That young Clements is going to turn out even worse than his brothers, if he lives long enough.
His pride's hurt, that's all. He'll get over it.
Marshal, there's a funny-looking dude over at the Wichita. Says he wants to see you.
A dude?
Yeah, and packing the biggest gun I ever saw. You ought to see the size of it.
Yeah, I guess I ought to. Sam, check those out for me, will you?
Yes, sir.
I'll be back in a little while.
So Earp came from Ellsworth to Wichita several months ago, huh?
Yep.
Well, why'd he leave Ellsworth? They run him out?
Yep. They insulted him, so he left. He's very sensitive.
Now, never mind the sarcasm. I just want the facts, Doctor. I want to know everything there is to know about Wyatt Earp. Well, now what's the matter?
Nothing. I was just wondering if you'd fit a regular-sized coffin or if I should have one specially made to order. A little wider across the beam.
Now, you stop talking like that, or
what?
Or you stop drinking out of my bottle. Now, you ready to answer my questions?
All right. I'll answer all I can.
Well, now, how many men did he kill?
Who?
Well, who do you think? Wyatt Earp.
Oh, him. None as far as I know.
All right. None? Well, what kind of a frontier marshal is that?
I think I'd better let the marshal himself answer you on that one.
Are you Wyatt Earp?
Yes, sir.
Well, I've come a long way to meet you. My name is Buntline, Ned Buntline. You heard of me, of course.
I don't think I have, Mr. Buntline.
Oh, you must have. I write dime novels about the West. I've written hundreds of them. What's the matter, you people out here? Don't you read?
Well, I was just about to ask you the same question. Can you?
Well, Sir, you are addressing a man whose command of English is the envy of...
A simple no or yes will be sufficient, Mr. Buntline.
Well, of course I read, you idiot.
Then you're under arrest.
Under arrest? What for?
For that.
Huh? For what? Oh, I'm a little nearsighted. I can't see a thing. Oh. I beg your pardon, Marshal.
If you don't mind.
This isn't loaded.
Well, the law makes no distinction between loaded and unloaded guns, Mr. Buntline.
It isn't even mine. Just read the inscription on it.
What's this all about?
It's a gratuity, Mr. Earp. It's a small token of my admiration for you as the most stalwart of the... It's not true that you haven't killed anybody here in Wichita, is it? Oh, it doesn't make a difference. People will never believe that. They'll believe what I tell them to believe. Marshal, this is your lucky day.
Mr. Buntline, I think you've been drinking a
Well,
little too
of
much.
course I have. That's what saloon's for, isn't it?
Well, I think you better come along with me.
Well, I certainly will. That's what I've traveled 2,000 miles to do. Mr. Earp, you are one of the... I've undergone a great many inconveniences to make this trip. I left my favorite razor back in Boston. I forgot it. Now I can't shave until I get back home.
Why not?
Because I'm sensitive.
Oh.
And believe me, sir, I didn't leave a luxurious home in New England just for the trip. I came here for one purpose, and one purpose only, to see Marshal Wyatt Earp of Wichita and to offer him fame and wealth beyond his wildest dreams.
Mr. Buntline, I still haven't the slightest idea what you're talking about.
Well, now, surely the thought of fabulous wealth, complete financial independence, surely that's a thought worth exploring, is it not?
Go ahead and explore it.
Smoke, gentlemen. They're specially made. Cost more than $1 each.
No, thanks.
Are the windows open? I'll take one.
Mr. Earp, have you ever heard of a man named William F. Cody?
Buffalo Bill? Sure.
Do you know who made Buffalo Bill? Do you know who changed him from a nondescript, practically penniless hunter into an international figure of fame?
No.
Do you know...
You know this isn't a bad cigar? Thank you.
Do you know who made Buffalo Bill the idol of every female in America? Do you know who enabled him to earn 50,000 American dollars in less than 1 year's time?
No, who?
Me, Ned Buntline.
It figures.
And I can do the same thing for you. Now think of it. Your name up on the banners, just like Buffalo Bill's. Ned Buntline presents his Wild West show, featuring in person Wyatt Earp, the great frontier marshal. How does that sound to you?
It sounds ridiculous.
What? Well, maybe I haven't made myself clear. All you'd have to do would be to...
All I'd have to do is stand up on a stage and make a fool of myself, get all dressed up in fancy clothes, and smile at 1,000 staring faces. Oh, you make yourself very clear.
Now, just a moment, Marshal. Don't... I warn you that...
I'm the one that does the warning around here. Now, you get out and stay out. Go on to back where you came from.
Well, you can't
Come on,
talk
just
to me
get
like
out.
that. I'm not...
Wyatt. You took the fella too serious. He was only trying to make you filthy rich.
Filthy is the word.
Sit down. I want to give you some advice. Oh, I know you never listen to any of it. But will you please sit down now? Please listen to me.
All right.
Wyatt, each man has to decide what he will do or won't do for money. But I hated to see you passing judgment on Buntline.
I didn't do that.
A plain no was enough. Instead, you throw him out. That's passing judgment.
I guess I did lose my temper.
Buntline can claim respect on a good many counts. I'd say offhand that he's made about 1 million children happy. Don't you add that to his favor?
Yeah. All right. I was wrong. I'll apologize to him.
Good. Oh, and another thing. He went to considerable trouble and expense to have this thing specially made for you. Now, the least you can do is try it out for him.
Maybe I will.
Look at that. I wonder what it is.
Well, good morning, gentlemen.
He's alive. It talks.
Come on, let's go to town. We got things to do.
Now, wait a minute, kid. That'll keep. That's one thing you gotta learn. Never pass up fun when you find it. Life's too short.
What do you mean? What do you mean, fun?
Fun. Say, you know, that's a real fancy outfit you've got on that.
Well, thank you very much.
It's a nice...
Yeah, no, stop it, will you?
Say, wait a minute, mister. There's one thing you gotta learn about this country. Don't insult people who are trying to make friends with you.
Well, I didn't insult you. I'm... will you have a cigar?
You're a dude smuggler, huh? You're in trouble.
Oh, I'm no... Hey, now, cut it out, you men, will you? Now, I warn you, you'll regret it.
You don't say.
Yes, I do say. I don't think the marshal would like to see his friends mistreated.
The marshal, huh? You friend of the marshal?
Wyatt?
Yeah.
Well, I should say I am. He's practically a partner of mine. Now, I tell you, let's just forget this, and I won't say anything. I've got a sense of humor.
Well, it's a good thing you have. Yeah, you're going to need it where you're going. You're coming with us.
Oh, no, I'm not.
Shut up. You're coming with us.
Well, I guess I am.
Marshal, that Wild Clements kid is back here looking for you with one of his brothers.
Oh, they checked their guns?
No.
Where are they?
Sitting on their horses right up the street. And listen, Marshal, you know that noisy tenderfoot that was here yesterday? Buntline?
Yeah?
Well, he's with him.
You sure?
Positive.
That's close enough, Marshal.
Mr. Buntline, you're in bad company.
None of my choosing.
Shut up.
Earp, I told you I was coming back.
Chip, you surprised me. I figured you'd raise your kid brother to fight his own battles.
I did. I just come along to see it was a fair fight. That don't mean no shotgun against a 6-gun. It's going to take some mighty fancy scattergun shooting to miss your dude friend here.
Hell, I've never had to kill anyone yet. I'd hate to have you be the first.
It's going to be you or me. You can make up your mind to that.
I'm sorry, boy.
Never mind being sorry. Just get rid of that shotgun. Then you and the kid can shoot it out alone with 6 guns.
What about you?
You know me better than that. I'm not butting in if it's a fair fight.
All right, Hal, you got yourself a shootout. I'll be right back.
He's yellow.
No, he ain't. He says he'd be back, he'll be back. You just better be fast today, kid.
Don't worry about it. I can beat him.
Yeah, I reckon you can at that. Matter of fact, I'd be willing to make a bet on it if I could find somebody to bet with.
You stay here. All right, Hal, get off your horse.
You said something about a wager, Mr. Clemens. I'd like to bet $100 on the marshal.
You get yourself a bet.
All right, hold it right there. Now make your play.
You're crazy. You can't hit anything from there.
I can hit you. Now draw.
What's that?
That is a Buntline special.
What, now just a minute.
Sam, come on over here and break that up.
Well, you had your shootout, Hal. You're still alive. I'm glad.
You really are.
Yeah. I'll go on to the jail.
Yeah.
You're a mighty excitable little man, Mr. Buntline.
And you're a coward, Mr. Clemens.
Hold it!
You talk about fair fights. You were going to use that rifle on the marshal.
Oh, it might have looked that way to you, but...
Are you staying in town? If you are, check your gun now.
No, I'm not staying.
Mr. Clemens, you owe me money.
You're right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And I wasn't going to use this rifle on the marshal.
Yes, well, I say you were.
Well, I say I wasn't.
Yeah, all right. You were. Gentlemen, the drinks are on me.
No, you don't. No, you don't. Not till you get that patched up.
Well, we can patch and drink.
You come on over to my place.
I'll see you at the Texas house.
There you are, Mr. Buntline. I'm sure you won't have any complications now. Just wear that for a couple of days.
Yeah, well, I may wear that a little bit longer.
How's your jaw feel?
Well, it's still a little sore, but nothing to affect my drinking.
Would you like a little nip?
You're the doctor.
Well, I prescribed a little spot of elixir.
All right.
I call this Plu's Spaventure. I'm sure you like it.
Good.
It'll take the wrinkles out of your jaw and out of your head. Hold her now. There we go. A little toast.
Uh-huh.
To your health, Mr. Buntline, and to your courage.
Oh, Doc, well, thank you, Doctor. Thank you very much.
If I was a drinking man, I'd join the doc in that toast.
Well, that's very kind of you to say that, Marshal. Good. So you like the special, huh?
Yes, sir, I sure do. It's a fine weapon.
Good, good. Sit down, Marshal.
Well, thank you. There are a couple of things I'd like to say to you. First, I want to tell you how much I appreciate your action on the street today. You're a very brave man.
Well, I never did anything like it before. You know, Marshal, I think there's something about your part of the country that gives men courage when they need it.
An interesting observation, Mr. Buntline, and very possibly true.
There's something else. I owe you an apology. I hope you'll accept it.
An apology? What for?
For treating you the way I did yesterday. I had no right to be angered by your business proposition. I'm sorry.
Does that mean you accept it?
No, sir. I've thought it over, and, well, I decided against it. I thank you just the same.
Well, I wish you'd tell me why.
Well, I'll try to answer that. I guess it's because I like the frontier. I like the people. I admire and respect them. Even the bad ones sometimes.
I think I know what you mean. Those Clemens brothers, for instance. No matter what else they are, they're still strong men.
Yeah. It takes a certain kind of man to make the West. It always has. I guess I just wouldn't be happy in any of the surroundings, Mr. Buntline. No matter how much money I could make elsewhere.
Well, we'd have cleaned up, you and I. Well, I tried anyway. Believe me, the trip was well worth it.
About this gun.
Now, that gun is yours.
Well, I'd like to keep it, Mr. Buntline, but I can't accept it as a gift. I'll buy it from you. A regulation Colt's worth about $60 new. I figure this is worth about $100. Will that be all right, Mr. Buntline?
It will not. Now, look, I'll make more than 100 times what that cost with my eyewitness account of the hair-raising, breathtaking six-gun duel in the dusty, silent, sun-baked streets of Wichita, Kansas, at 10 cents a copy.
All right, Mr. Buntline. I accept it with thanks. Saved a life today. Might have been my own.
Marshal, all I can say is wear it in good health.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, I better get back to Boston and get a shave. Goodbye, Doctor.
Bye.
Yeah. Marshal Earp.
Goodbye, Mr. Buntline. You have a good trip now.
Thank you.
Well, he cleaned up the country, the old Wild West country. He made law and order prevail. And none can deny it, the legend of Wyatt forever will live on the trail. Oh, Wyatt Earp, Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told.